Hashtag the 4S shop demanded 200,000 yuan for car repairs, but I don't even have a driver's license. They panicked instantly. Author, Flying Snow Small Stove. The 4S store called me, saying my Mercedes C-Class was fixed and I needed to pay a 200,000 yuan repair bill that day, or they deduct the money from my bank account by force. But I don't even hold a driver's license. I headed to the shop to argue, and the manager humiliated me in front of everyone. If you can't afford it, don't drive luxury cars. I smiled and pulled out a voice recorder. Say that again. Ms. Gao, your vehicle's repairs are finished. The total bill is 200,000 yuan and must be settled today, or we'll automatically deduct the payment and report you to the credit bureau. A gruff male voice crackled from the phone. I was mid-bite of a chicken leg at my office desk and nearly choked. What car? I mumbled with meat still in my mouth. Your Mercedes S450 C-Class. We overhauled the engine and replaced the transmission. Total cost 201,800 yuan. We'll waive the extra 1,800 and charge you a flat 200,000. I froze for a second, then burst out laughing. Buddy, I don't even have a driver's license. Where would I get a Mercedes? There was a 2-second pause on the line, and his tone turned colder. Gao Xiao Xiao, ID number 3201X times X times 8,888, Residence Unit 304, Building 12, Sunshine Garden. Am I correct? The chicken leg slipped out of my hand. All the details matched exactly. The system lists you as the registered owner, and the car's been parked at our shop for half a month. Are you trying to renege on your debt? I'm not dodging payment. That car isn't mine at all. Then explain why your name's on the vehicle registration certificate. My head spun. Wait, repeat that. What car exactly? Black Mercedes S450 C-Class, license plate SUX88888. Don't pretend this plate doesn't belong to you. I was utterly dumbfounded. That plate alone costs more than the car itself, and I only made 5,000 yuan a month. How could I possibly own it? Sir, I really don't have a car. You must have mixed up identities. Mixed up? He let out a cold sneer. Your ID number, phone number, and home address are all logged in our system. How could there be a mistake? Can I at least come see the car? Come over with the payment today, no exceptions. I don't have that kind of money, and the car isn't mine. That's your problem. His voice turned icy all of a sudden. Chris, Yao, I'll say this one last time. If you fail to pay today, we'll withdraw funds from your bank account without warning, ruining your credit score. Don't say I didn't warn you. What right do you have to deduct money from my account? We have a signed repair contract with your signature. He hung up before I could reply. I stared blankly at my phone, fingers trembling. Of a repair contract signed by me? I never even laid eyes on that car. I opened my mobile banking app to check my balance. 3 seconds later, I almost threw my phone across the room. 5,000 yuan had vanished. The transaction note read, deposit for Mercedes S450 repairs. 5,000 yuan, half my monthly salary, stolen without a single heads up. I redialed their number nonstop, 8 times in a row, but it was always busy. That bastard had blocked my calls. I sat numbly at my workstation as my co-worker Li Jiao sidled over, eyes sparkling with gossip. Xiao Xiao, you bought a Mercedes? I didn't. Then why are they chasing you for repair fees? How should I know? Quit pretending. Everyone at the office knows you're dating a rich guy. She snickered behind her hand. Though 200K in repairs is steep, why not just sell the car? I ignored her, but she leaned in even closer, lowering her voice. If you're short on cash, I know a microloan provider with low interest rates. Want me to hook you up? I shot her a cold glance. No thanks. She shrugged and turned to leave, then glanced back. By the way, they said they'll auto-deduct funds. You sure your account has enough money? You might not even have rent money left afterward. I squeezed my phone tight and said nothing, watching her snicker away. I rechecked the bank record again. 5,000 yuan really had been taken without consent. The merchant name was Tingdao 4S Shop, located in the East District. I called again, this time reaching a receptionist. Hello, I need to speak to your after-sales manager. May I ask who's calling? Gao Xiao Xiao, the woman you just deducted 5,000 yuan from. There was a brief pause. 1 moment, please hold. A man picked up after a minute. Changed your mind, Ms. Gao? I haven't changed my mind. What gives you the right to take my money? We have your signed repair contract. I never signed any contract. Come to the shop to see for yourself. Your name and ID number are printed clearly in black and white. I'm heading over right now. Bring the full 200,000 yuan while you're here. No discounts. He hung up again. I grabbed my bag to leave. Li Jiao watched me go. You're actually going? Yep. Want me to tag along? No. Be careful they don't lock you inside the shop. I ignored her warning and rushed out to hail a taxi, my mind racing the whole ride. Who actually owned that Mercedes? Why was my name registered to it? Who forged the repair contract? Half a year prior, I'd lost my wallet at a mall, ID card and bank cards all gone missing. I reported the loss to the police and reissued new documents the same day, but those few unaccounted hours were more than enough time for someone to misuse my stolen identity. Hashtag chapter 2. The taxi pulled up outside a sprawling 4S dealership. I pushed through the glass doors into a bright showroom lined with brand new Mercedes sedans. A man in a tailored suit walked over, his name tag reading after sales manager Xiao Meng. Gao Xiao Xiao. That's me. Follow me. He led me into an office and slammed a contract down on the desk. Read it yourself. I picked up the document. Repairs for Mercedes S450, including full engine overhaul and transmission replacement. Total cost 201,800 yuan. Owner, Gao Xiao Xiao. ID number matching mine. Signature scrawled under the name. I stared at the signature for 5 full seconds. It wasn't my handwriting. My script was messy. This neat, practiced signature belonged to someone else entirely. This isn't my signature. Zhao Meng leaned back in his chair, crossing one leg over the other. Says who? We can get a handwriting forensic test done. And who's footing the bill for that test? Why should I pay? Because you're avoiding your debt. I took a deep breath. Manager Zhao, I'll repeat myself clearly. I don't own this car, I don't possess a driver's license, and I've never even seen what a Mercedes S450 looks like. That's none of my concern. He stood towering over me. The car's fixed, you must pay the bill. Why don't you sell the car instead? Sell this wreck with a rebuilt engine and transmission? No buyer would touch it. If you can get $200K for it, I'll take your surname. Why did you even carry out the repairs in the first place? You submitted a signed repair order requesting the work. I never signed anything. The contract's right here. Deny it all you want. I was left speechless. Zhao Meng's tone softened slightly, the false kindness of a cat toying with a trapped mouse. Ms. Gao, I can cut you a break. $200K isn't an astronomical sum. If cash flow's tight, we offer partnered microloans with reasonable interest rates. I won't take out loans. Then figure out payment somehow. This has to be resolved today. I'm calling the police. Go ahead. He threw his hands up casually. The police will only look at this written contract with your legal ID printed on it. What grounds do you have to refute it? I dialed 110 on the spot. After I explained everything, the dispatcher said, this qualifies as a civil economic dispute. Try negotiating with the store first. File a lawsuit if talks break down. I hung up the phone as Zhao Meng smirked triumphantly. Told you so. I stood to leave. I'll get to the bottom of this. Be my guest, but bear in mind daily parking fees accrue while the vehicle's stored here. Tomorrow the bill will exceed $200K. I reached the lobby doors as he called after me. One last reminder, if the full payment doesn't clear by tomorrow, we'll auto-withdraw every cent available from your accounts. I glanced back at his smug grin, seething with rage. Outside, I squatted on the sidewalk and checked my bank balance. Most of my savings were in a separate card. This one only held a little over 3,000 yuan. Then a terrifying thought hit me. This card was linked to Alipay, WeChat, and automatic rent deductions. If they drained it dry, I wouldn't be able to pay rent next month. I quickly opened the banking app to transfer the remaining funds, only to freeze at the new transaction log. Another 3,000 yuan had just been deducted, noted as advance payment for Mercedes repairs. My account balance dropped to a mere 82 yuan. My fingers shook as an unfamiliar number dialed in. I answered. Ms. Gao Xiao, this is the finance department at Tingda 4S shop on Manager Zhao's orders. You still owe 196,800 yuan for repairs. Please settle immediately. You deducted another 3,000 without permission? That's a required advance deposit for your signed contract. I never signed any contract. You may come to the store to review the paperwork if you have questions. I just left your shop. Feel free to return again. He hung up. My hands trembled, not from fear, but boiling anger. Hashtag chapter 3. I squatted outside the dealership fuming when another unknown call came through, a woman's polite voice on the line. Is this Ms. Gao Xiao? Speaking. This is Sister Sun, a claims adjuster from XX Insurance Company. Insurance? I never purchased auto insurance. What's this about, Sister Sun? We have 2 accident records tied to your Mercedes S450 under your name, both marked full liability on your part. The outstanding $200K repair bill is overdue, so our company will initiate recovery proceedings. My head buzzed. I've never laid eyes on that car, let alone crashed it. Her tone stayed falsely gentle yet cutting. All records are official. Accident reports bear your name and ID number. They can't be forged. Which traffic police station issued those reports? East City Traffic Police Brigade. I'll go investigate that immediately. By all means, but I must warn you, failure to settle the $200K debt will place you on the industry-wide insurance blacklist. What blacklist? No insurance carrier will issue auto, accident, or critical illness coverage to you ever again. I gripped my phone tight. I don't own a car and have no plans to buy insurance. Mortgage lenders also cross-reference this blacklist. It will ruin your personal credit score. On what authority do you penalize me? Official accident documentation and your status as registered vehicle owner. Every word was a blade. MS. Gao. I'm advising you for your own good. Scrape together the money and resolve this, or you'll suffer far greater losses once this escalates. I don't have the money. Then there's nothing I can do. Our recovery process activates in 3 days if payment remains outstanding. Who will you report me to? The Banking and Insurance Regulatory Commission and the People's Bank Credit Reference Center. She ended the call. I stood exposed to the blazing sun, realizing the dealership and insurance company were running a coordinated good cop, bad cop scheme against me. I hailed a taxi straight to the East City Traffic Police Brigade, a short drive away. The station lobby was quiet. I approached the service window. I'd like to look up accident reports for plate SU-X88888, Mercedes S450. The officer tapped his keyboard, then glanced up. You're Gao Xiao? Yes. 2 collisions, both ruled your full fault. May I see the paperwork? He printed 2 documents and handed them over. The first report, dated half a year prior, stated I'd rear-ended another vehicle on the East City Expressway as the driver, full liability. The second, 3 months ago, repeated the same crash scenario with the same plate listed under my name. I stared at the line labeling driver Gao Xiao in disbelief. I didn't even hold a license. I couldn't drive a car at all. Which police officer filed these reports? The name's printed there, Lu Jiqiang. Is he in the office today? He's off duty, returns tomorrow. I exited the station and called my cousin Gao Tian, a professional lawyer. I'm in trouble. Explain. I recounted every detail of the scam. He paused for 3 seconds. Where are you now? Outside East City Traffic Police Brigade. Stay put, I'll come pick you up. Hashtag chapter 4. Gao Tian arrived in his beat Volkswagen sedan. Hand me your phone. He skimmed my bank statements and photos of the forged repair contract I'd snapped at the shop. You lost your ID card half a year ago, right? Yes, I reported it missing at the mall that same day. Do you still have the lost report receipt? I saved a photo to my cloud storage. I pulled it up for him to view. Someone used your stolen ID to register that vehicle under your identity. How's that possible? Doesn't the buyer need to appear in person? Cash purchases only require an ID and power of attorney. Many DMVs skip strict identity verification checks. They can forge authorization papers easily. He started the engine, heading for the Vehicle Administration Bureau. At the DMV, Gao Tian presented his lawyer's credentials to pull the car's full ownership file. I stood beside him, growing increasingly horrified reading the records. The Mercedes was first registered to me half a year ago, yet had been transferred 3 separate times across Jiangsu, Anhui, and Shandong provinces, each time briefly retitled to another person before being switched back to my name. This is identity laundering, Gao Tian said grimly. They register the car under a stolen ID, file insurance claims after crashes, transfer compensation to their own accounts, then re-register the vehicle back to your name to repeat the fraud cycle. Your insurance premiums stay cheap under your blank credit profile, which is why they keep returning the title to you. Are they scamming the insurance company and dumping the unpaid repair costs on me? Exactly. Look at the repair shop listed on both Axon files. Qingda 4S shop, the same dealership hounding you for payment. Zhao Meng's crew handles vehicle damage assessments and repairs, pockets insurance payouts, then extorts the uncovered repair balance from the named owner, double dipping on profits. We need the original accident reports to identify the actual driver. We returned to the police station the next day and caught Officer Lu Jiqiang on duty. Gao Tian flashed his lawyer ID requesting full accident file access. 10 minutes later, Lu emerged with the complete case folders. I flipped open the first report to the attached scene photos. The man standing beside the wrecked car wasn't me, a 30-something bald male with a dragon tattoo wrapping his neck. This is the driver, Lu explained. But the report lists Gao Xiaoxiao as the driver. That was a clerical entry error when filing the case. 2 identical entry errors across separate accidents. Lu fell silent. Gao Tian photographed the scene evidence. We'll retain these records for official evidence requests if needed. Outside the station, my cousin let out a cold huff. This Lu Jiqiang's definitely complicit somehow. We need to track down that bald tattooed man first. Hashtag chapter 5. Gao Tian spent 2 days running background checks and uncovered the man's identity. Qian Jun, nicknamed Bald Jun, a former garage owner whose shop folded, now employed as Zhao Meng's subordinate at Qingda 4S shop, the actual driver of the crashed Mercedes. We obtained photos of him, his employment records, and traffic camera footage capturing him behind the wheel during the collisions. With solid evidence in hand, we returned to the dealership alongside my lawyer. Zhao Meng spotted us and grinned. Brought the payment, I assume? I slammed the stack of case files down on his desk. Take a look at these. He flipped through the accident records, vehicle transfer logs, and surveillance shots of Qian Jun driving the car, his smirk fading. These only prove the car crashed. They don't disprove you were the owner who lent the vehicle out. Gao Tian cut in. The accident documents falsely named Gao Xiaoxiao as the driver, while photographic evidence confirms Qian Jun was behind the wheel. This constitutes forged official documentation. Prove it's forgery then. Could have just been a typo by police staff. Zhao called Qian Jun into the office, a heavy-set man wearing a floral button-down and gold chain around his neck. Qian sat across from me, grinning lecherously. Little lady, manager Zhao told me your situation. 200K isn't much. Find a wealthy boyfriend to cover the bill for you. The car and accidents have nothing to do with me. Legally speaking, you're the registered owner, so liability falls to you. I have evidence proving your fraud scheme. Your evidence would take over a year to litigate through court. Meanwhile, your credit will be destroyed, and you'll be blacklisted by all insurers. He chuckled. You can't afford to waste that much time. I refuse to pay. No payment? We have an opening for front desk clerk, room and board included, for 1,000 monthly salary. Work 4 or 5 years to clear the debt. I glared at him. You want me to labor to pay off your scam? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Where else would a regular worker scrape together 200K fast? He patted my shoulder patronizingly. Gao Tian stepped between us, shielding me. That constitutes harassment of my client. Harassment? I'm offering her a solution. Qian smirked. If you cooperate, I can even fix your damaged credit score through my connections. The greasy look on his skin turned my stomach. I won't take the job. Then pay the full sum or face litigation. He stood to leave, glancing back at the doorway. If we don't receive payment within 3 days, we'll post your story all over social media, branding you a deadbeat luxury car owner. Zhao Meng watched them depart with a sneer. Qian's being lenient with you. I would have thrown you out long ago. I stood up to leave. You'll regret this. Looking forward to it. Outside, my cousin frowned. They're far more stubborn than I anticipated. He threatened to spread rumors about me online. Empty threats. If they post it, we'll use it as additional evidence of defamation. I don't want to wait months for legal proceedings. Then we fight fire with fire. I pulled out my phone showing the voice recording captured while Qian Jun harassed me earlier. I hit record the second he started making lewd offers to get me to comply. Gao Tian smiled approvingly. Smart move. I clutched my phone, ready to confront Zhao Meng, Qian, and their insurance accomplice sister-son head-on. Hashtag chapter 6. I replayed the recorded conversation at home multiple times. Qian's lines about striking a deal if I cooperated rang crystal clear, yet I knew this alone wouldn't be enough to convict them entirely. I needed an insider witness to expose their full operation. Through industry contacts, my cousin tracked down Xiao Zhou, a former Tingda 4S employee who quit half a year prior after falling out with Zhao Meng. I dialed his number myself per my cousin's advice, as insiders often opened up more to victims than lawyers. Who is this? I'm Gao Xiaoxiao. Zhao Meng used my stolen ID to register a Mercedes under my name and now demands $200K in fraudulent repair fees. He hesitated. I can't talk about company internal matters. I've already had 8,000 yuan stolen from my bank account, and they threatened to ruin my credit and force me into indentured labor to clear fake debt. After a lengthy silence, he sighed. That Mercedes never belonged to you. A client left it as collateral after defaulting on a debt to Zhao Meng. He and Qian Jun devised a scheme to acquire stolen ID cards, register the vehicle under the victim's identity, file insurance claims after staged crashes, then extort uncovered repair costs from the named owner. How did they get my ID? Well, Jun specialized in purchasing lost identity cards for 500 yuan apiece from street vendors. How many other victims have they scammed this way? At least 3 before you. What happened to the others? The first paid 80K to settle, the second 120K. An elderly third party was hospitalized from their threats and paid 50K hush money. He sent a compressed folder of chat screenshots to my WeChat after I begged for proof. I scanned the exchange logs between Zhao Meng and Qian Jun line by line. Qian, the new ID under Gao Xiaoxiao, has claimed credit, perfect for the scheme. Zhao, register the Mercedes under her name, file all insurance claims through her profile. Split payouts 50-50 as usual. Qian, if she shows up demanding answers, we'll bully her into a private settlement like the last 3 marks. Zhao, 4th victim already. This trick works flawlessly. Qian, girls like her are timid, easy to intimidate into submission. My hands shook with rage reading the messages. They ran identity fraud and insurance scams as a regular profitable business targeting vulnerable people who lost their ID documents. I messaged Xiao Zhou my gratitude, now holding definitive digital evidence to file formal charges. Hashtag Chapter 7. Gao Tian reviewed the chat logs and nodded. This evidence is solid. Forged contracts, identity theft, and insurance fraud carry minimum 3-year prison sentences. Should I report to police immediately? Not yet. We need them to confess to the scheme on record. Otherwise, they'll claim the screenshots are fabricated. He outlined a plan for me to act as a terrified, compliant victim to lure them into admitting their crimes on call. I memorized the script and dialed Zhao Meng's number with my cousin listening in on speakerphone. I've made up my mind. I'll take responsibility for the 200K bill. A triumphant laugh echoed down the line. Finally come to your senses? I don't have all the cash up front. Can I pay 50K first and split the rest into installments? Qian, come listen. She surrendered. Zhao called his accomplice over. Come to the shop tomorrow morning to sign an installment repayment agreement. Qian's voice cut through the receiver. Will you stop auto-deducting money from my accounts afterward? We run a legitimate business. We won't make unauthorized withdrawals. I nearly scoffed at the word legitimate. What time tomorrow? 10 sharp. Don't be late. I hung up, storing all paperwork, surveillance footage, and recordings into a single evidence folder, preparing to confront them in front of live customer witnesses the next morning. Hashtag Chapter 8. I arrived at Tingda 4S at 9:30 a.m., my cousin waiting in a car across the street ready to alert police at my signal. Several prospective buyers milled around the showroom browsing vehicles. Zhao Meng hurried over with a fake warm smile. Let's head to the office to sign paperwork privately. I'd rather sign here in the lobby for convenience. His expression darkened as Qian Jun walked out from the back office to smooth things over with customers watching us. I unzipped my document pouch and addressed the entire room before the onlookers could leave. Before signing any repayment papers, I'd like to share some evidence with everyone present. I laid out the DMV transfer records first. This Mercedes was registered under my name half a year ago, yet transferred between 3 cities repeatedly before being retitled to me each cycle. I've never purchased a vehicle in my life. Next, I displayed the accident photos featuring the bald tattooed driver. Official reports falsely list me as the crash driver, but surveillance footage confirms the man behind the wheel is Qian Jun, his shop's employee. Finally, I held up the printed chat logs and read their scam plans aloud to the silent crowd. Murmurs of shock rippled through the customers. Qian Jun's smile vanished entirely as he threatened to sue me for slander. I pulled out my voice recorder and hit play, broadcasting his line about forcing me to work off the debt for free to the whole lobby. Every witness pulled out their cell phones to record the confrontation. Zhao attempted to bolt for the back exit, but police squad cars pulled up outside the glass doors as Gao Tian escorted uniformed officers inside. I handed over the full case file of irrefutable evidence. Zhao and Qian were placed under arrest on the spot, charged with identity forgery, insurance fraud, and intimidation. Hashtag Chapter 9. Police separated me, Zhao Meng, and Qian Jun for formal questioning. Their fabricated defense crumbled as Xiao Zhou arrived to testify alongside the chat log evidence and accident scene footage. Sister Sun, the insurance adjuster, also voluntarily turned herself in after receiving my message, admitting Zhao pressured her to threaten victims with credit blacklists as part of their coordinated scam. All prior defrauded victims were tracked down and brought forward as additional witnesses. The court later ruled Zhao Meng and Qian Jun guilty of large-scale insurance fraud, forgery, and illegal intimidation, receiving 4 and 5 years imprisonment respectively, with the complicit insurance adjuster Sister Sun given a suspended sentence for cooperating with the investigation. The corrupt traffic police officer Liu Jiqiang, who falsified accident reports, was suspended and prosecuted for accepting bribes. The Mercedes vehicle was seized and auctioned by authorities. My name fully removed from all vehicle registration databases. Tingda 4S shop had its business license revoked and permanently shuttered. As I walked out of the courthouse after the verdict, my phone buzzed with another unknown caller's voice. A bank representative informing me a platinum credit card opened under my stolen ID had racked up 300,000 yuan in overseas charges. I glanced at Gao Tian and sighed, ready to tackle the next round of identity fraud justice.